Hello and welcome back to the Friday Feels episode of the You Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How are you? How we feeling on a Friday?
I'm good. Love a Friday.
Love a Friday. Love that we are in spring mode.
Yes.
It is the dark winter is behind us. It is dating season.
I think so.
No, it's dating season.
I think the 40s are over.
It's over.
Are the 40s over?
I'm the groundhog.
Okay.
I'm Puxatani J Train. And
Jared
I'm letting you know.
peers out of his studio. He sees a shadow.
Saw my shadow. I saw a shadow of a martini glass.
Yes.
And I am saying it's over. If you're in a relationship from the winter and you're like, oh my God, I have to spend the whole summer with this person, you fucked because...
Or it's time.
Or it's time to end it because all these single people are going to come out of their caves and look to the sky and happiness will ensue. And we're all just going to suck on each other's fingers.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That is the dream.
Do you feel like the days of the week are distinguishable as much to you because of you don't have like a regular work schedule?
Because of my career choices?
Yeah.
No, I like a Monday. I can feel the week. I can still feel the
okay.
days of the week. I think like, Wednesday, I feel it based on podcast releases, to tell you the
That's
truth.
true.
That's why I like hearing from the audience. I like when you comment. I know my Wednesday is spent trolling the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
How about you? You feel the...
Yeah.
I mean, I like a Sunday. I again, the not drinking thing has made me more in touch with my mind, body, and soul.
I love that. Mind-body connection. Next thing you know, you're going to be like a yoga teacher.
I teach yoga.
Yeah? I would pay to see that class. I would take that class.
Now everyone fart. Let it out now.
Yoga with Jared.
If you're on YouTube, you can see that wasn't an actual fart.
I would love to. Maybe you should do one yoga pose in studio for
One
the,
yoga
for
pose?
the YouTube watchers.
I could. Can I touch? I can't even touch my toe.
I
I'm
don't
just trying
think
to touch
that's
my
a
toe.
yoga pose.
Is that a yoga
Yeah.
pose?
Yeah.
Downward
Downward
dog.
dog.
I've done that.
Happy baby.
Happy baby.
Child pose.
Child pose. What is the other one? Tree pose. I could do tree pose.
Let's see it. You have to stand.
Oh, I have to stand to do it.
That's
What do you do on one leg? And you
One
put
leg up on your thigh. This is a special treat for the YouTubers. Wow. It goes a little higher, better, but you haven't taken a class in a while. Yeah, there you go. Wow. Ladies, all this could be yours.
Right. Imagine how flexible I am in the sack.
And that's yoga with Jared.
That could be, you could be blowing me while in a tree pose.
I think you would be one of those weird yoga instructors that gets, people talk about.
Oh, there
are those.
He's adjusting me too much.
Yeah, there's adjustments.
I that whole yoga scene, just the old dude who wears raggedy clothing.
Yeah.
Is my thought. Like the shorts that are too baggy but small at the same time. That's what I think of when creepy old yoga person.
Yeah, that's definitely a guy.
I went to Barry's boot camp this morning.
How was that?
I'm big on Barry's.
How many days a week do you go?
I went.
What's your workout routine?
What's my teen?
For the listeners at
I've been
home.
going more now because I just like the idea of going into a place and not having to think about it.
You go in and then you leave and you're done.
And it's done.
Over.
It's
Yes.
over for me. That's why I've always liked the Barry's concept. And the treadmill, 12 minutes, you're out.
12 minutes.
2
You can do
miles
anything for
in.
12 minutes.
Right. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like
You went a 6-minute mile? It's
Shout
pretty
out,
good.
Well, no, 12 minutes for 1 mile.
Oh, okay.
12-minute mile.
Yeah. Still good.
Yeah,
less impressive than the
Still
6-minute
way
mile.
less
But,
impressive. I've been going. I go on Tuesdays. No, because we tape at 10:30. So on Tuesday morning, I'm like, let's have a day. I'll be done by 2. Anyone can get done by 2.
Yeah.
And then I can go home and take a nap and then do shows. Like I'm gonna do shows at the Cellar. And I got new material. I left.
I'm
last
excited
night.
to see it.
Yeah, I'm planning a fall tour. Oh, shout out to Alicia. She teaches a great Barry's class.
Alicia. Which
Alicia,
studio?
At the Chelsea studio. Love the Chelsea studio. Love everyone that works there. Big shout.
Do you get a
from me.
smoothie after?
I hope to get a free one after this plug.
Yeah,
we're in
seriously.
Plug City. No, I just like
Not
the whole
paid.
vibe. Alicia's got good music, good teacher. There's also that guy Joe, who I like a lot. I'm just a fan. Brittany, that's another girl who works there. I just shout out to them. And so my workout routine, because of the not drinking, I have all this time on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time to get swole as they say.
Is that your goal for the?
I'd like to fit. My goal is always the same for fitness. I want to wear a t-shirt without
Thinking about it.
pulling it out.
Right.
Like, stretching, put on a t-shirt without stretching it.
Okay. So how many days a week are you at Barry's?
So I go to PHQ. So I train with Forzag, trainer to the stars.
How many days a week? We want the routine.
Twice a week with Forzag.
Okay.
Heavy lifting. Heavy. That's right, ladies.
How heavy? Like the 10 pounders?
Yeah, the colored ones, the pink ones.
Those are the ones I use. Yeah.
No, I go as heavy as I can go with Forzag, and then I go to these Barry's boot camp classes to try and get the sweat going.
Mm-hmm.
With that girl Alicia on Tuesday mornings. I've been doing it. So I go twice a week to the PHQ. It's like a small boutique-y, but they do classes.
Are you still with Alex Turoff?
We check in with each other. Nutritionist to the stars, Alex Turoff with an I. She's great. I mean,
She's best, yeah.
I just, with the time on your, when you get this, like the drinking, when you don't do it, you're like, what am I going to do? And
Right.
I'm like, I guess I'll go to a gym.
Start a family.
Yeah, that's another thing. You start. Well, this is the thing. Alcohol was like definitely being used, if I'm to be honest, to like avoid feelings, avoid like thinking on singledom, and
Yeah.
I have had like flashbacks to people I dated, and I'm like, I need to get through this month before I make any decisions on anything.
You need to be like 1 month sober.
I really do.
I
I gotta know if these are feelings of just.
See if they pass or not.
I need to see if they pass.
Okay, I like that.
Like I can't.
That's smart.
That wouldn't be fair to
You're not making
anyone
any
I
action.
may reach out to, or
You might reach out to some.
I've had some old flames come across my mind, but like I don't.
I
think
love the reach out. The old flame reach out. I think it's so romantic.
No, but it's only romantic if it works out.
Yes.
Or I'm a horrific person. That's why I'm giving myself this month to like get my mind at ease and figure out like what I want.
It's nice to be thought of. There's nothing more flattering to me than the reach out. Even though it shouldn't be.
They're in something already, and I'm the loser who reached out, and I'm not doing well.
That is,
that's my. See, I don't want to deal
that would
with
make
that.
my week.
See, now I'm not reaching out.
That
I don't want anyone having satisfaction. And if you think it's you, it's not you.
You screenshot it.
I don't know who.
You screenshot it. You text all your friends.
Right.
Look who's back.
Look who's miserable.
Look who's back.
Well, that's why I'm waiting the month. I don't
thought
want
he
to
could do better. I am like the worst motivator for you.
The worst
that's ever existed.
We already said, okay, and we have a live show. The U Up Live is in Times Square. You'll see me hammered on stage.
Yes,
after
this
Jordana's encouragement.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be unhinged this Wednesday.
In a t-shirt that doesn't fit because Jordana gave me pizza.
I didn't give you anything. I don't even know any of the cool pizza places.
You really don't know any. You
an
are
old suburban hag.
You asked us what the cool pizza places were like.
I said, where would you recommend?
What are you from, Ohio?
I don't know.
Where would I recommend for pizza? You know where to go.
I do know where to go.
You called Linda Street.
Linda Street. I thought you said Linda Street.
I was like,
Linda Street.
Who is this?
She's Jared's aunt who makes great
this
pizza.
Walmart motherfucker?
Fucking old suburban hag. That's gonna be my new Instagram bio.
That's a great merch for Betches. Old suburban hag.
I love it.
The OSH.
Yes. Before there were Karens, there was the old suburban hag.
So what's going on? How you feeling? I guess I just told everyone that I'm
feeling
dealing with a lot of feelings, I guess.
Excited to unpack them, hopefully, on benefits.
Well, we'll see.
I too am ready for this this New York spring.
NY spring. Are you have any trips coming up? Are you going anywhere?
I think
summer. What will you do? Is summer going to be at the house?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go to Europe.
You're gonna go to Europe?
Yeah, but most of the summer I will be home at my house.
Chateau Marinelli.
Watch it, or you're not gonna get an invite.
I better be there. I'm bringing my suit.
Bring your water wings
and make sure Ronnie's locked up. After I heard
basically
what type of dog you're training.
Murder him. No, he's gonna be great. All the poop will be gone.
We hope. We got a Petty or Prudent here.
I am. Oh yeah, but
You Up Live. It's coming. The deadline to submit your deal reveals, your red flag deal breakers, your emails. If you're at the live show and you want an email read, submit. You Up Live. It's Betches, UUP at Betches.com. That's the email. UUP at Betches.com. Title it You Up Live. And then
submit your dating app makeover. This weekend, if you're listening, you are definitely going to get some weird, shady texts that you don't know what's going on. We're going to tell you what's going on. We'll even help you craft a response. Come out this Wednesday, Palladium, Times Square, April 30th. It's going to be a great show. Submit all your submissions by Monday.
Assemble the group chat.
There you go.
That's right.
Okay.
We're doing a Petty or Prudent. We play this game. This would be fun. If you're coming to the U Up Live and you want a Petty or Prudent done, just send it in. uup@betches.com.
You could do Petty or Prudent.
U Up Live.
Icky or picky?
Icky or picky. This is Petty or Prudent. Basically, a relationship ends and someone does something and you have to decide whether it's a petty move or it's a prudent move. Now, we have a celebrity Petty or Prudent.
I saw this one came up on my Instagram Explore page and I sent it to you. I was like, this is the perfect Petty or Prudent.
Right. And it's a friend of the show.
Yes.
Caitlin Bristow, who is a friend of the show. I
Yes.
like Caitlin a lot. I think
Yes.
she's great.
I like Caitlin a lot. I like her ex Jason. Also nice person.
Jason Tardik. I would also agree. Like him.
Likeable.
Think he's a good guy. I think this breakup, it happens. I think
They were engaged.
They were
no longer engaged.
right, and they're both in the public eye. And we have Caitlin, who recently had an episode of her podcast where she was like, it was basically promoted as, I'm spilling all the tea on this relationship that ended 2 years ago.
And we'll play the clip in the
Right.
episode for you guys to hear exactly what she says straight from her mouth. We're not going to take anything
Right.
out of context. This is exactly what she said.
And this is something she brought up, and we were like, wow, this fits right in the Petty or Prudent game. Or Jordana sent it to me and was like, Petty or Prudent? This was the text. It was the
Yes.
clip that we were going to show you. And Jordana was like, what do you think? And I started talking it out with some people and getting kind of
Great
polling the
conversation.
room. It's a good conversation starter. People really seem to have hot takes and opinions on this.
Yeah.
So we're going to...
Maybe we should play it just to refresh
Let's
the
play it.
details.
I think it's mean and pathetic to name your dog. Am I going there?
It depends if you, is there any chance you'll use it?
No, not anymore.
Okay, then send it.
I'm making this clear that it's not that I'm not over him. I'm very much over him. I ended the relationship. I did not want to be in that. It felt icky to me. It felt like everything was for Instagram and numbers. I did not want to be in it. But to get a dog and name that dog my dream baby name that I've had in my baby names for 10 years, that in fact, I even have a text that says to him, I said the day I met him, I want to name my baby Teddy. Just to wrap that up, I know I seem very angry, but it's more like I don't like feeling disrespected. And I just have so many gross feelings from that because for so long I was made to feel crazy. And now I'm like, oh, I'm not crazy. I just saw what other people are seeing now. And it's just not aligned. What I want out of life is not what he wants, and that is what two people shouldn't be together like that. So I'm not fully angry. I'm just really grossed out and disappointed. And this will probably be the last time I will ever speak on him ever again because I didn't for so long, and that felt really good because I had let it go, and then that kind of just fired
Festered
something up in me again. And I think it's okay to talk about.
Would you rather someone be angry at you or grossed out and disappointed?
I think grossed out and disappointed more than angry.
Right. It sounds like something that sounds like how I would feel if Ronnie shit on the floor.
Right.
I'm not angry. I'm just grossed out and disappointed.
I'm disappointed myself for even having a dog like you and not training it right. I'm grossed out at you for pooping on the floor. It is funny. She says a lot of things. It's funny. This is why we have this show, the
Yes.
male-female counterpoint of view.
For sure.
Like where she's like, I'm over it. She's very worried about people thinking she's not over it.
Well, she's getting ahead of the feedback, which is like, get over it. Like,
Right, but I
he's like,
don't-
why are you still talking about him? Get over it. Are
I
you
see her talk about this, and I don't see this as someone who's like still in love with Jason.
No, I think she's very clearly just like very irritated.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think what she's irritated by, and I haven't talked to her about this, and you know,
If you're listening.
if you're listening, Caitlin, this is my theory.
Yeah.
Is she thinks he's getting a good edit publicly.
Mhm.
Like he's this finance guy who is out there. Everyone thinks he's a nice guy, but he's not the nicest in the entire world. She's met the real him, and he's putting out the Instagram version of him, which we all do. We all
Right.
put out the Instagram version of ourselves. Our lives look way more glorious and amazing than they actually are. And this is the fear of any man who ends it with a woman, is they can't just let it go. And
Never.
that you're
Taylor
always a
Swift
topic
has-
of conversation, that you're you know, that you're stuck in this picture with them that they keep showing to their friends and being like, look at what I used to date. And it's like, men generally run away from this stuff. Every man, I hope she's amazing. I hope she finds the one. I hope she has the best days. Every day is better than the last without me.
Every woman dreams of Taylor Swift's 10-minute version of All Too Well.
Right. And it's every man's
15
nightmare.
years, 20 years. We remember,
right?
And we are there.
And it's like, why do men act weird on Instagram? This is kind of why.
What do you mean weird?
Like not posting with you, or like, you know, keeping people at arm's distance.
I mean, he did propose on her podcast.
I'm not saying he's not. Again, you write checks that you sometimes have to cash. I just think this is a fear that like isn't fair to women. Like this is like a kind of a bad fear that you're gonna end something with someone, and hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. You know, and I do think Caitlyn is seeing him get love on the internet, and
well, he did just adopt this dog, you know.
So he adopts a dog, he gets all the likes.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, look how cute the dog is. And
she's
he's like,
hold on a minute.
Right.
Everyone, hold on.
Right. He is evil.
Right.
This name is fraught with the devil. You know, it's when I watch her, I'm not like, oh, she's not over it. It's ranting and raving woman after a relationship where he's just like, oh God, I guess I have to wait till the baby cries itself out. Like,
yeah. I mean, I guess the question is this move
petty or prudent?
Petty or prudent? And I do think it's different because they are in the public eye, and the name it's not like, again, this is 1985 and you break up with someone and you never hear from them again, and maybe you'll see them passing. You might not even know what their dog's name is.
This is a fair point. For him to have a dog, the name gets out there and they are eternally attached.
Yes.
And then if she's to have a baby, this dog's name is
would be
off limits to her.
Yes.
Because people would go, you named your baby the same as... Someone would bring it up. She'd have to deal with it.
It's more petty because of who they are than a normal couple. I think if this was like a regular couple on the street, she could name the baby whatever the dog's name is with a regular couple on the street. I do think because they're both in the public eye, it would be, again, she's not, to my knowledge, she's not close to having a baby. But like, does that matter? I don't know.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. It's the thing you can't really say.
Okay.
I mean, he could never be like, well, you're not having a baby. Like,
not like ever. I'm just saying, like, like it also, I think if enough time passed, it would be less weird.
The commenter whose comments, well, you're not having a baby, to me is disgusting.
Not that you're not
right. No, but
Thank
I'm saying,
you.
I
am disgusting.
I'm just trying to think of like who would say that.
I'm just saying that is, it's like, to me, it would be like a little bit of a stronger argument if it was like she's about to give birth and he steals this name right from under her. I do think it would add a little bit more of like a craziness to it than like if she has a kid in like 4 or 5 years and he named his dog that name 5 years ago and there's 5 years more time between their breakup. I think it would be less.
That's why
crazy.
She's so concerned with people think she's not over it. Like she's like, she has no right to like tell him the dog name. I also don't think he remembered.
You think?
I think
she said it on day one.
I don't the idea that he remembers anything other than I was trying to.
So you think he doesn't remember
on day one is like?
You think he doesn't remember?
He has no memory. I think there's no memory. This is a horrible story. I think if he could take it back, he would. I think he'd be like, I think he's named it Teddy, and then everyone was like, no, like some asshole loser was like, that's Caitlyn's dream baby name.
No one knew it. No, I'm saying no one knew it. She's the one who's like, I can't use this name anymore. She didn't tell anyone but him because they were dating.
Oh, well, then I think he saw this video and was like, God damn it.
Right. Well,
if I could change it, I would.
Someone commented that he picked the name because he like asked the followers like, what's a good name for the dog? And like, that was like one of the top names that people were suggesting.
Right. And if that's the case, I think it's the same.
Well,
it's the same level of prudent.
Part of me was like
naming his dog.
Part of me was like, is he trying to annoy her? A little bit.
Well,
because here's the thing. If he was trying to annoy her, this would be an amazing passive-aggressive move. If that was his intention.
Totally agree. And based on the premise that she says in her video that he is in it for the followers, that he is in this, this is all a business to him. What gets him in the news more than poking the bear?
Right.
Her to make a video about how. So now he gets
That's
back.
a little
his name
diabolical,
is in the news,
but possible.
Possible. It is possible based on her review of the relationship where he dated me and it became about following.
Right.
So now he knows that I want the baby named Teddy. What will get me, like, he
Right.
can send shots across the bow.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like the kind of thing where if he, there's a
But
scenario
that's
where
maniacal.
there's
I
a
don't-
scenario where he knows that
Yeah.
she wanted this name, and there's a scenario where he doesn't. Let's say he doesn't. If he doesn't remember, then this isn't petty. Obviously, he
Right.
like
I
doesn't
don't think he
remember, whatever.
remembers. Yeah.
If he remembers, there's two options. Then there's I feel like we're making a diagram.
Sure.
If he remembers, there's two options.
Mhm.
There's the diabolical option. I remember. I know she knows. I'm gonna do this kind of to annoy her because she
Mhm.
has talked a lot of shit about me, which she has.
Right.
Fine. And they also used to have two dogs together, right?
They're dog people.
Which she kept,
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think she kept the dog. So this is his new dog.
Right.
That is his
So
own
this is
dog.
a little bit to get her for keeping the dogs. And
Maybe a little passive
Okay,
aggressive
sure.
there. The other option is that he just likes the name and he's like, I don't know her or anything. I like this name. I'm gonna use it. Why do I
Right.
need to not use a name? Because an ex of mine also likes this name who I'm not with anymore.
Here's the thing. It is all of those things might be true. The one thing I know to be most true is most men want to leave a relationship in the past.
Okay.
If we know
So
anything
which one
from
are you saying is
I am-
statistically most likely?
The most likely statistically is that he had no idea, and this is what he would consider a giant mistake he has made because he has now awoken a sleeping giant.
That almost makes it worse. It's like you weren't even listening. You know what I mean?
But that's what's
Like,
so
I'm cool. Like,
funny
it's
about
like when
this.
me. Remember, I had the fight with Mike about the ice cream flavor.
Yes.
Like you don't even know what my favorite ice cream flavor. You don't even know. I've been
Right.
saying this name for years.
And this is someone who loves you and is still with you. He didn't remember your favorite ice cream. You think Jason, 2 years after they broke up, he's like, how do I bother my ex who has their own podcast that could hypothetically talk about me and bring my name into the mud again?
right. So you're
And
saying
listen,
totally innocent.
Totally innocent.
See, if it's me and I'm her, I almost hope it's like if the two options are
Yeah.
he didn't even give a shit enough to remember, or he still cares enough to want to piss me off. He's still in the game. He still cares. I almost prefer that option.
Yeah, this is how women argue with each other. I just don't know. If a guy did this, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Like if a woman named her dog after her high school nemesis's future baby name, I would go in the realm of possibilities.
I would love it. I'd be like, long game.
This is stuff, and it's not fair. It's not right. I'm not saying I sound good. This is the fear in breakups. This is why we tread lightly. This is why is he so nice to me and then he breaks up with me the next day? Or why did he get weird before we broke up? I needed a reason. I didn't want to,
Right.
I don't want to get this 10-episode podcast season done after me. The thing is,
That's what I'm saying. If he knew, do you think if he knew, he would have just been like, let me just not. Even if I like, let me just not.
Yes.
Any normal person you're
if
saying
the
would
ch-
say,
if
let me just not.
Any normal man, if the choice is between, and I'm speaking for men because we have seen this type of behavior again and again where guys, I want her to be the best. Get me away from her.
Yeah.
And if it's the choice between name my dog the baby name that my ex was going to use, my ex who has a podcast that can literally just turn on the camera and go off on me for a while, or different name and quietly go away. But there's
He didn't
here's
know.
the thing that makes him different than what makes tonight different than any other night is the need for followers. So if he is that, and listen, Instagram's been slow.
This would be an evolved game.
This would be
yeah,
quite
yeah.
a move.
He might be playing chess while we're playing checkers.
If that's the case, he is an evil genius. He'll be running for politics in the next election cycle. Here's a more likely scenario than him doing it. And she claims she never told anyone the baby
So
name.
she said.
I-
Most
I-
people don't tell people the baby name they have.
I would say most people with podcasts of over 5 years
Mhm.
don't remember everything they said.
Okay.
I would say Caitlyn also has, we love her. I love her. I think she's great. She gets a lot of blowback. There are people that like really
Don't like her.
in ways that is like gross.
Okay.
It is more likely to me that a person who doesn't like her and like waits in the wings fed Jason this name
So
in order to fuck with.
And that's a real move.
That's an
additional advanced move.
Right. That is more likely to me than Jason
That's the
naming
Scooby
this.
hat.
Right.
The Scooby mask.
It was the Redditor the whole time. That would be more likely to me that this was like this puppeteer evil mastermind is just operating from Des Moines, Iowa in their den.
Right.
Like that's really the scary part. That's a great movie too. Just fucking with her in Nashville. I mean, her beautiful mansion. This troll loser in their sweats, just playing them all for fools.
That would be crazy. If you're Jason and you see this podcast episode, do you change the name?
No,
it's not too late.
You want this to go away. I think changing the name would
continues the narrative.
The story cycle.
You don't say anything.
I think you say nothing. I think you kind of let people be, people are generally anti-women. So they're going to like come down on Caitlyn for this episode. I'm sure she's getting feedback. Like, let it go. That's why she's being so defensive. If he really wanted to get her, the move is to name your dog Caitlyn Bristow.
A little less subtle. A little less subtle.
You go right after it. If he really wanted to like mess with her, oh yeah, she's a bitch. The dog.
Well, let's make this more relatable, right?
Yeah.
So relatable to the general audience.
Sure.
Petty or Prudent, you are your partner that had broke up with you because she says I broke up with him. Your partner that broke up with you has a baby name that they really like. You also really like that name. You get a dog. You really like that name.
Right.
Is it petty or prudent to name the dog the name that they also liked for their child for your dog?
I think to me, I honestly, and I don't, this is just my honest opinion. If a woman did it, I'd be okay with it. It's Prudent. She loved this is the name that felt right to her.
And the guy broke up with her.
Guy broke up with her. She takes the baby name that he dreamt of.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a name that
you're on YouTube? You can see how I feel about that.
Do you have a baby name you love?
I haven't thought once of a baby name. Okay. Like you could name the baby Zordon after a Power Rangers evil villain, and I wouldn't give a fuck. I think the name thing is like crazy. Whatever you name it, it. But I'm also in a studio apartment. I fuck next to the sink, so like, who am I to say? Who am I to?
Okay,
have
so
an
you're
opinion?
Saying if it's a woman, it's prudent. If it's a man, it's petty.
Yeah, I think if a woman felt that attached to a name after hearing it from an ex, I would be like, good for you. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I took the name from you. That's the one thing. I think it would be weird because you're basically saying like, I have this memory of this ex, and now it's like kind of a positive one because it's like the thing you love the most.
Right.
So like that's also like kind of why it would be weird for him to name the dog. Like he's got to like live this every day.
Right. I'm kind of with you that like he either doesn't remember or he remembers and doesn't think she cares that much.
Right. This maybe came up and he's like, oh, Teddy, maybe that was if she had a girl or a boy. It was a boy dog, a Theodore, I guess.
Teddy seems like a boy's name.
Teddy goes both ways.
Does it?
Teddy
Mellencamp.
Teddy
Mellencamp.
Teddy Mellencamp?
John Mellencamp's daughter on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay.
Teddy. Yeah.
So we got one. Do you have a name? Or am I allowed to ask that question?
Yeah.
I know the name thing gets a little weird.
Think of names, yeah.
What are your
I'm not going to tell you the name.
Oh, okay.
Do I have names?
This is how crazy people are with the name.
You might name your...
my martini?
Yeah, you might name your martini after it. I'd kill you.
My sink that I fuck next to?
No, names you're not supposed to tell the name. It's bad luck or something.
I just gave away Zordon.
It's bad luck. Now Zordon's off the table.
Zordon, I guess all these Zordons.
If we ever get into a business feud, I'll have to
gonna get in the divorce.
Jason, please.
We want him to come on. I would love to talk to him about his dating life.
Tell us, please.
You know what we found out about Jay Shetty last week? That he's a perfect saint and human being, and everything people think about him is true.
Yeah.
We couldn't get one. We tried with Jay.
It's hard.
He passed the test. This guy's literally been touched by God. He sent me a text after. I don't know if I talked about it here. Jay Shetty, one of the most famous people alive, sent me and I'll reveal this because I don't know why he wouldn't want this revealed. He just sent me a text.
Well, that's why he's 3 steps ahead of you.
Maybe that's it. Maybe he's another
You
tonic.
just played right. You played right into his plan. You played right into his plan.
He texted me, "You are enough."
And
What
all your
is this guy?
and look at you.
And look at me. I came back the next
you
week.
stopped drinking.
I'm going to Barry's.
Changed
Let's
your life.
do an
All right,
email.
let's do one more.
I'll read it. J&J, recent listener in the past year, my friend sent me clips, and now I listen to every episode. This is a good lesson to the audience. Send these clips.
Just forward it along.
Forward it along. Your
DM
friend
it.
who's alone, your friend who's a loser, your friend who can't find a guy, your friend who can't find a girl. Those are our people, okay? I'm a 34-year-old female. I have my own place, a great job, and now finally feel like I'm in the place to make dating a priority. The thing I have trouble with is letting go and just having fun on the date. I feel like I always have to be on, quote unquote, and be the most witty, sparkling version of myself. I spend so much time trying to put my best foot forward so the other person would like me. I don't really end up finding out whether I like them. It's like the dating equivalent of hosting a party. I spend most of my time making sure everyone else is having fun, and I don't stop to see if I'm having fun. Then when they're interested in a second date, I'm stuck in that I don't really know how I feel about seeing them again. I don't feel a spark because I wasn't really present in the moment, but don't want to lead them on by going on a second date when there really wasn't a spark for me. I also end up oddly feeling like they don't really like the real me. They like the date me, which doesn't even make much sense because that was the whole point of being so likable on the date. Maybe I need advice on how to be more authentic. Anyways, hoping you dating gurus can help me out and help me stop acting like a host and start being more present. I've got a setup date coming up soon from a mutual friend, so wish me luck. Sincerely, a betch who throws a great party. Well, good luck on your date that already happened.
We might be a little late for you.
Right.
We'll get you the next one.
Well,
What do you think?
vibes being sent into the past.
Because you sort of mentioned in the past that you do some version of this.
I relate to this email completely. And I have this in all ways. I have it in the way where I'm like, I think first dates are performances of a certain kind.
I agree with that. I think she should cut herself some slack. I don't think everyone needs to show up as the most authentic version of themselves on
No, you're not
date
going
one.
to get to the table, lift
Yeah.
a butt cheek and fart and be like, what's up? And put your hands down
Right.
your pants and start fucking masturbating.
It's okay to
You
have
know?
a little mystery.
Yeah, a little mystery is nice. I not that that's what I do when I'm on a comfortable date. Hey, how you doing? You know, like I don't do that.
This is an art.
But I do understand this idea of like, do I even like this person? Am I going out to like
So
win
I just
this
here to make
date?
sure that they like me.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do think some of this is just going on the dates. Some of this is like finding the right match. There's nothing we could tell you. Again, I'm in the same boat as you, so I can't really
Yeah, you're both
give advice.
great first dates, it sounds like.
Right. I can have fun. I can keep a conversation there. I have 30,000 podcasts. That's, you know, podcasts.
So you do for a living. Yeah.
I do
you have a
this,
good
right.
personality for a living.
That's my whole, that's what I say on the
Basically.
date.
I
What
mean,
do I
that's
do?
kind of what you have. If you have
Just-
a good podcast, that's sort of what you know how to have a conversation.
I know how to keep the ball in the air, and I'm sure that's a skill this person has too. The thing about it is when I get away from the date, you know, sometimes I go on dates with women who are so cynical about the dating world that they're like, I almost have to like turn into a clown on the date.
Mhm.
Like half the date is cheering them up, that I'm not there to like screw them over.
What do they say to make you think that?
They just have this like closed off. They just feel like their
Fists
fists
up,
are
yeah.
up, and you know everything's an eye roll. Everything's like you know, like
Sure, right,
sure,
yeah, yeah.
cool. Oh, do you go on a lot of dates? And it's like, oh, you have a podcast about dating. And it's like, yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry for being this way. Like
Right.
and then you turn and you're like honk honk. Like I can look
I'm
at
surprised
your
you don't-
nose.
I'm surprised you don't just like check out.
It becomes a challenge. You want it to go well. You want the
Interesting.
person to be happy. You want them to walk away with
You
a
want to
good-
prove them wrong so that you
Right.
can then dump them and prove them right. Prove them wrong to prove them right.
It is right. It's a weird cycle, and I feel badly about it because it's like, again, this wasn't a natural thing.
Mhm.
So I think like Here's the thing I keep saying to myself is like, everyone shouldn't be natural. Everyone shouldn't feel like a great date.
Yeah.
And especially with the apps, you get so many more people that you could go out with than you would if it was just no apps. You know,
Right.
it's like apps is like putting sweet and low in your coffee, like versus sugar. You ever put sugar in your coffee and it's like nothing? Then you put like a stevia and you're like, this tastes like a different drink. It's like apps are kind of like that.
Right.
Like they just add so much more that you're like,
A lot more synthetic.
right. It's
but, like,
synthetic. And then
yeah.
it's also like, you know, then you go on a lot of like meh dates where you feel like you're performing and you're not yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you realize the ones where you are yourself even more. So this is like a kiss a lot of frogs thing.
Yeah, I don't think she necessarily has a problem here being a great
Right.
first. If she was saying that she's getting to date 6 and she's feeling like this, I think that would be a different story. But I think a first date is a little bit like light and fun and like again like with like glimmers of like authenticity
Right.
in there.
And it's like you go on the, you know, the decision of going the second day, it's okay to say, I'm not sure how I feel about them, but I do want to go out with them again.
Yeah.
I think she's holding herself to this, like, these rules that she
How do you
doesn't need to
decide?
do that. Did I have fun?
Yeah. I
And
think
then it's like-
that's a good did I have fun?
You're right.
Do I think I'd have fun next time?
Right. And sometimes you have fun a few times and you go, well, I was having fun because
I'm fun.
I'm fun. And
Yeah.
right. And this was just fun. And there wasn't anything specific about this connection that made me really like sweat for them. You know,
Right.
I think that's what gets me to go on more dates with someone is like thinking about them, sweating for them.
Yeah, and a little
having
bit of
them-
that is probably a little bit more of like an authentic vibe as you go on.
Right. And just knowing that because you weren't authentic with someone doesn't mean it
You can't get there.
can't get
Yeah.
there, or that there isn't someone else out there where it will be authentic. This isn't her. This is I guess is like my point. Like you do the inauthentic performance things to get to the authentic
Yeah,
things.
to build like a base with
Right.
someone. You can't jump right into your parents' divorce.
I think you know what helps too. This is a stupid advice. You ready for stupid advice?
Let's hear it.
They say when you're acting, like Brad Pitt like eats in every scene because it kind of loosens him up to like be more of an actor
Because he has something else.
going on. Like
okay.
he's got his mind on something else. So it like
That's a great point. And I think that's why people are more of their authentic self when they're busy.
right.
Because she's saying she's spending a lot of time and energy into like putting on the show on
Mhm.
these dates. And sometimes it's like, you've almost got too much time to think about this. Like, do you ever feel like sometimes the things that just kind of like come together and they're thrown together last minute, you're kind of like in fuck it mode and you're just more who you are because you're like, take it or leave it?
Right. And similar to that, it's like taking a shower. Why do you get ideas in the shower? You're doing something else.
Right.
I think for her, a walk date might be helpful, like a park date,
A walk date.
a
Wow.
walk date, like a coffee
You've done a walk date?
I've done a walk date.
Yeah.
I like a walk date because you're like moving and you're not really like, again, you're thinking about the walk. Where are we going?
Yeah.
Looking at other people. There's more action. Just, I don't know. We're coming up on spring. I don't know. That's something I've done to like shake things up
I like that.
to see if this is like, can we operate in the world? I think sometimes when you're at a table with drinks, it's like,
A little too formal.
it's formal and, you know, and if you're asking this question, there probably wasn't a connection.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that don't be too hard on yourself. It's okay to show up on the date on your A game.
Yeah, nothing.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I think it's better than the other way, showing
Right.
up with a bad attitude.
Right. No, don't be bad at it. I've been on those dates.
Yeah.
Bad attitude. I'm sick of dating person.
Right.
Don't go on the date.
Totally. That's
Brutal.
not, but it's a waste of everyone's time.
That's probably the ones I'm trying to cheer up. These sick of dating women. And then everything you say is like, is this a move? You're being accused of moves.
Right. I wonder if any of these guys wonder if this is, if she's doing a move.
They probably think they're killing it.
Right.
You know, they probably have their own egos and they're like, oh man, I'm really making her laugh. And she's like, I can't believe I'm faking laughing right.
Well, that's
he thinks
charm.
he's killing it.
That's charm, right?
Right.
Charm is when I make you feel good about you.
Right. So maybe she's got some great charm and
Nothing wrong with that.
that's the thing. She's dealing with like she could only write it. This is a luxury problem.
Yeah.
She could only write into here and have people go, "You're right."
It's the only place where we don't want to,
We won't shame you for
Bring out
having
their-
too many people that want to go out with you on a second date.
because you're too good of a first date.
Good for you.
I was pretty good at first dates.
Yeah?
Back in my day.
Back in your day,
Back in my day, I got a lot of second dates.
a lot of seconds.
Yeah, it's 3 months where they started to find out the real me.
They saw what they were dealing with.
Yeah, date 2 was breeze. Yeah,
I love a good date too.
date 2 is one of the more exciting dates. There's not really, you already have you're excited because you already went on date 1, so you
Mhm.
know it's not going to be bad. But there's not any expectations like when you start to get to date 4
Right. Well,
of like, what are we?
I mean, I've had this where I've been like date 2. I'm like, what am I saying by going on date 2?
Oh, you don't like date 2?
Well, so I do.
I feel like the expectations are low on date 2.
They are, but I think for her, where she's like, I had a good. They want to go on date, and again, she's like probably getting asked.
Mhm.
You know, if you're in that position, like someone's asking you, and you're like, yeah, I do want to go out, and I should. They were very nice. There's nothing wrong with them, but did I like them, or is it just me being fun?
Yeah. So on date 2, that's when you go out and you fart in public,
Yeah.
see if they still like you.
Do a walk, and fart on the walk. We did it again. We solved it.
We did it. We'll be back on Wednesday.
Boom.
Bye.